You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 6.
45 minutes of terror.
You can see the suspect is in custody.
2 kids taken by a thief who just wanted their mother's car. Tonight, what happened in the hours before the takedown?
I was really surprised, honestly, because he doesn't strike me as like a bad person.
But tonight, police say that thief has a history.
James Acosta is in jail right now, accused not only of taking that car, but tonight also facing charges for kidnapping. News 4's Chase Horn working this story all day and now with us live for an update to this breaking story. Chase.
Eli Acosta has not bonded out of jail, and we're learning new tonight that he's no stranger to this area. Folks at 2 separate gas stations not far from the clinic here behind me say they know him well. In fact, he was at one of those gas stations just hours before the alleged crime.
You can see the suspect is in custody. They pulled the 2 kids out of the car.
But hours before this scene played out live on our 6 o'clock newscast, Acosta was inside a local gas station. And Latoya Williams says she's seen him multiple times in her store as well.
He's a regular customer. He's never been like weird or anything. You know, he comes in all the time. He's very kind. So it was really surprising to see him on the news.
But that's exactly what Williams saw. Acosta now stands accused of stealing a mother's SUV with her 2 young children in the back seat. Police using a GPS tracker on the car to eventually track him down.
I was really surprised, honestly, because he doesn't strike me as like a bad person. I mean, I don't know him personally, but, you know, I came up here when the situation was going on, and to find out that it was him, I was a little bit shocked.
The 51-year-old's arrest record tells a different story. Burglary charges from 2006, unauthorized use of a vehicle, and larceny of a vehicle in 2011. And just 2 years ago, embezzlement.
We've seen him walking around the neighborhood quite a lot, and we used to sell beer, but we quit selling beer, I think, last September, October, and I've really not seen him since we quit selling beer. He doesn't come in anymore.
And he likely won't be back in this area anytime soon. A scary situation, and one Williams feels like could have been avoided.
My oldest kid is 10, and I have never left my kids. You know, it is a little bit extra work to take them out, but that's what you got to do. You can't leave them in the car in the heat, and you can't leave them with it running, because obviously you see right now, that's what happens.
They surrounded the car. As you can see, the 2 kids are safe.
Now, we did reach out to the Oklahoma City Police Department requesting the body cam footage and the 911 call audio. We're told that should be made available sometime next week. We did also speak with the parents of the children that were in the back seat of the SUV. They said they didn't want to go on camera. They're just glad their children are safe, and they want to put this all behind them. Live in Southwest Oklahoma City, Chase Horn, Oklahoma's News 4.
Thank you, Chase. Tonight, more details about a double murder in Stroud. Pauletta and Mark Pittman were killed inside their home earlier this week. Pauletta's co-workers got worried when she didn't show up for work. Tonight, we know both Mark and Pauletta were shot in the head. Their son, Sean Pittman, is accused of killing them.
Also tonight, caught on camera, Oklahoma City police are warning about something they call jugging. Now, if you don't know what it is, it's when thieves follow you into the bank and then to another location. Then they're going to break into your car and steal that cash that you had just taken out from the bank. We first told you about it a few months ago, and police say this red SUV you see right there, it actually followed a black truck, and then the person inside broke into that other car to steal the money. Officers say the crime happens in the blink of an eye. And tonight, a gas station owner busted. Police say he was allowing customers to use their food stamp cards to buy things that aren't covered. That includes gas, prescription pills. News 4's Jessica Bruno on Crime Watch.
According to court documents filed here in Logan County, the owner of Jeep Mart was allowing customers to purchase things like gas and cigarettes using their SNAP benefits, and this has allegedly been going on for over a year. Inside this probable cause affidavit, details of food stamp trafficking, allegedly by this man, Manjeet Hayer, known by most of his customers at his store, Jeep Mart, as G. According to the affidavit, one customer told agents G allowed him to buy cigarettes by the pack and by the carton, going on to say G would charge him much more than the retail price for the cigarettes when he used his SNAP benefits. Another customer saying Hayer allowed her to buy household non-food items such as toilet paper and cleaning supplies with her SNAP benefit at an inflated price. A third customer reporting he also sold OxyContin and other pills and marijuana and allowed her to use her EBT card to buy them. And a fourth buying gas with her EBT card and SNAP benefit, telling investigators she knew it was wrong, but needed the gas to commute back and forth to work from Guthrie to Oklahoma City. We stopped by the store to see if Hayer's employees knew this was going on. Definitely want to point out that is on the door. Interesting. Hi. We were just wondering if you guys were aware about what's going on with your owner, that he was letting people purchase gas, cigarettes with SNAP cards. Are you guys aware of that?
Yeah, we can't talk about it right now.
Okay. You don't want to make any comment about it or anything? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
On top of food stamp fraud, Hayer also charged with possession of meth. He'll go before a judge for all of the charges in the fall. In Guthrie, Jessica Bruno, Oklahoma's News 4.
Now, first weather from the Forewarned Storm Team.
Compared to yesterday, definitely less hot and by a long shot a lot less muggy. Temperatures are only around 90 degrees. Let's take a look outside here on our Thursday. Mostly sunny skies. And it's still July. It's still plenty warm, but not nearly as oppressive as it was this time yesterday. And with the sunshine, temperatures are still only in the upper 80s to the very low 90s outside. That's a victory for this time of year. We're 88 degrees in Norman, also in Edmond and Guthrie, also Shawnee and Chandler, 88 degrees. Heat index is running right now middle 80s, upper 80s, and low 90s. Chickasha has a 94 heat index, but recall this time yesterday, there were some 105 to 110 heat index values out there. So it is at least a step in the right direction. Also mostly sunny out there. Had some storms earlier this morning in far western Oklahoma. Here's your Thursday evening. It looks nice. Light winds, clear skies. For this time of year, pretty mild temperatures, mostly in the 70s. Friday and that weekend, guys, and an update on Barry coming up.
Thank you, Mike. Weeks after suffering a heat stroke, a Deer Creek football player is still fighting for his life. Sam Tigner suffered the heat stroke during a workout camp. He was in critical condition for nearly 10 days. His family talked only to News 4 today, saying he has pneumonia, blood clots in his arms, and his fever peaked at 107. But with all the prayers pouring in, he is improving.
We're literally taking it one day at a time.
Continue to pray for Sam just to get his strength back. Yes, for the blood clots to go away, for his throat to get stronger so he'll be able to talk.
Sam's parents say they're now waiting for MRI results. If you'd like to help the Tigner family with Sam's medical bills, we've got a link to the GoFundMe account on our website, KFOR.com. Full and outdated, the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter says it needs a new building.
And tonight, they want your tax dollars to pay for it. Here's News 4's Emily Akins with more.
Yes, staff tells us every single one of these kennels is full. Overcrowding, another reason they're asking for a new building. Chanting for a change. Folks that work closely with the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter hoping for a brand new building.
And if you've never had to sit or walk in the euthanasia room and see those animals, they're piled in cages. There's puppies. You know, these aren't just sick animals. Most of them are healthy.
476 animals euthanized at the shelter in the month of June alone. This group trying to make that number zero.
If we want to meet no-kill goals, that means that we have to be able to hold the dogs longer. In order to be able to hold the dogs longer, you have to have a larger facility.
The group filled city council chambers on Thursday. They're asking for about $43 million to build a brand new facility as a part of the MAPS 4 project.
We have one of the best zoos in the country, and one of the worst, sort of most obsolete animal shelters.
Leaders with the shelter say the current building has a variety of issues, including facilities that are outdated.
It was designed with no regard for modern understandings of animal sheltering.
This is what the proposed facility would look like, and among many other things, it would include top-of-the-line facilities and equipment. They're hoping to make the place more welcoming so people want to come and adopt.
You know, entertainment's one thing, but quality of life often has to do with the cat on your pillow or the dog at the foot of your bed.
In Oklahoma City, Emily Akins, Oklahoma's News 4.
And staff say that if approved, the new shelter wouldn't be built for at least 4 to 5 years. Voting should happen sometime in December.
Tropical storm Barry has formed in the Gulf of Mexico, and while we enjoy outside on this Thursday a lot of sunshine, an unexpected effect from Barry may be moving into Oklahoma. We'll talk about that as we roll toward Friday and your weekend. That forecast is straight ahead.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 6 with Jolene Cheney, Kevin Ogle, Mike Morgan, and Brian Brinkley. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you.
Another legal battle could be brewing over medical marijuana. Advocates say a Senate bill privacy concerns is what it's about. If someone is pulled over with a small amount of marijuana, but they do not have their card on them, law enforcement would be able to get information electronically. Today, a law firm took to social media, calling for patients to challenge it. Some fear it will cause unfair treatment.
They know I'm a marijuana user, and they're going to start looking for roaches or just roach clips or just anything else that they can find in my car or smell.
That paragraph in the legislation was put there not as a means for law enforcement to dig deeper into your personal information. It was put there as a means for them to avoid giving you a ticket just because you forgot your card.
The bill's author, who you just heard from there, says he is not surprised the bill's being questioned. However, he says the law firm has never reached out to his office about their concerns.
We've seen it all before, law enforcement trying to wrangle in livestock on the run. It's even happened right in downtown Oklahoma City. But tonight, training officers to take down a different kind of culprit. That's the focus. Here's News 4's Kelsey Hill.
Many of us are used to horses and cattle in an arena like this one. But what happens when law enforcement face them out on the streets?
We've seen a number of wild encounters where police and deputies are forced to take on the task of becoming livestock lawmen. A bull escaped on the streets of Oklahoma City.
There's a cow I almost ran over on California and Dewey.
And when a pony went on the run along I-40 near Yukon, just to name a few.
If you've never herded cattle, that can be an adventure.
Captain Kyle Gibbs with Stillwater Police has had his fair share of trying to round up a loose horse or even a bull in his 35 years on the force.
Black Angus bull, and it was at midnight, and that was exactly our fear, that a car is going to come through there and not see it.
Gibbs grew up around livestock, but that's not the case for some law enforcement officers, including one in their department.
He shows up and basically called back to the dispatcher and said, "Yeah, Central, there's a cow on the roadway." And when asked to describe it, he says, "Well, it's brown."
Chris Heine with the OSU Extension Office is teaching the class on equine behavior, identification, and handling.
That we learn to read them as animals are and maybe not put our human emotions on them.
She says while some officers are prepared to handle things like crowd control, livestock can be intimidating.
We really teach them quite a bit about flight zones and essentially point of balance, or how where you are influences where that animal is going to go.
Gibbs says his department calls in what he calls professional cowboys to help with certain calls, but he believes this training would be helpful to learn how animals think.
Yeah, it would be very beneficial because there's some things you need to know.
In Stillwater, Kelsey Hill, Oklahoma's News 4.
And that class is set to happen at Lazy E Arena in Guthrie later this month.